What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Blackcap. Welcome back to part 2 of our Lucian game analysis for League of Legends here. Thank you for your patience. And I got a couple comments saying people enjoyed the first video. Really glad to hear that. And let's go ahead and jump right back in. So we left it off with me getting a kill on the bear mid lane, creating some pressure there. So we're going to go bot lane here, shove this wave in. And my team is hovering around Dragon. So it's possible right there for me to push that wave, and advisable because that makes them respond with someone, or else we can rotate there after Dragon, get potentially more pressure on that tier 2 tower there. So by pushing that wave in, I know for a fact that someone is going to go clear it and creates less pressure around around Dragon for our team, so we can secure that objective. Notice I didn't cut straight across the river there because we had seen an Annie mid, and I wasn't sure if she was in that brush, so I popped a ward in there. And then I'm going to back somewhere safe where I know that I can't just get destroyed for no apparent reason. Like my Janna did. So I saw that all happening on the mini-map, and she saw the Thresh there and knew that Annie was around there before, so completely her fault for dying, and tis unfortunate. The Quinn here bullying out the Renekton, almost getting the kill on that. And she's pulling a lot of pressure top lane. We see the remaining members rotating over, and I see the Thresh and the volley. The only person I don't yet see is the Annie, which makes me super hesitant to push up. Now I just see the Annie heading top. I'm thinking to be careful, and unfortunately the Annie has a really nice play there by flashing on the Quinn when she's in bird form, so she can't get away. But that is flash down from Annie, which is really big for me as the ADC. The Thresh knows that he lost all pressure there because everyone showed up top, so he backs off into the blue side where they have control. Now the Jax is looking to get pretty aggressive here, and I see that. And I'm assuming that since Annie has no flash and the Jax is there drawing pressure, that I can create pressure on the opposite side of the map. So since they're all drawn topside from that previous play from Quinn, actually is what started all of that. This allows me to come back down into this bot lane, soak up some more free XP, free farm. I think I only missed one CS there, and continue to push this in. Janna really smartly rotates down here while Karma keeps mid pressure. Janna's going to rotate down. I'm going to use my ult to clear out this minion wave so as many of this huge minion wave hit the tower as possible. And nice little Janna shield there to get some more damage onto the tower. Now at this point, Annie doesn't have flash, I know that, and she just used her combo on the Janna, or her stun, excuse me, so I probably could have gone aggressive there and gotten the kill. And looking back at it, this is why it's always good to look at your games, because you can see, okay, that situation, I should have been more aggressive, definitely. And that's the second or third time I've said that for this game. So while I, generally speaking, feel that I play a pretty aggressive style with Lucian especially, there is definitely room for me to become better, which is great. That's what League of Legends and playing is all about. Really nice hook right there onto the Quinn. My heal is not going to save her. There's absolutely no way, so there's no point. Waiting for Volley to proc his little fast movement speed before I give Karma the heal, and that way we're able to get out. Jax comes in with a nice stun onto the Volley. The Annie ult does not hit me, thank the Lord, and I'm able to clean up the Volley after countering it to Jax. So really good. There's not really a whole lot of room for us to follow up, even though the Annie ult is down. Her stun and just her base damages are really high against our team, because we don't have an Aegis as of yet, and I can't really push forward like that without heal either, especially. So we're just kind of trading pressure back and forth mid. I put the pink down on the right side to make sure that I can get out if I need to. And Thresh comes in with a really sick flash here. The flash hook to predict where the flash was going to be from Karma. That was such a sick play. As a primarily support main, I can say that that was really cool. And once again, trying to get some return damage down onto the team, I officially stepped too far forward again. And that is my last death for the game. So we can say that I learned my lesson, because I'm not stepping forward anymore when that Annie. You see why I'm so hesitant to play aggressive, because she didn't have flash, she didn't have ult. That was literally just a normal base rotation in her spells that killed me. So I have to be really, really careful as Lucian, especially when I'm going in this greedy build of not having any sort of MR, other than in my runes. I am running a decent amount of MR in this rune page. So, yeah. I'm saying Baron here because I think we're strong enough to 5v5. And we just got some kills. I will be up relatively soon. I'm running there as soon as I can, telling them I'm on my way. Once I look at it, though, our Janna is low and our Jax is not in the best conditions. So I'm saying it might be a bad call. Just letting them know what I think. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't do it necessarily. It's just that I've had very negative experiences around Baron as of late. It has cost me the game before, so I would like to avoid that if possible. Here comes the Annie, gets a nice little almost kick my ass on that. You can see how low I am, and I just got back from base. That's just from 2 spells. So, and luckily I got hit by the Jinx rocket there. But yeah, that's just 2 spells. I mean, that's the thing about playing against Annie. It's just incredibly stressful. So, right there, because I get chunked out, no Jinx ult, and the volley is dead, so it's kind of a trade in pressure around the map. Except for the fact that we lose mid priority here, so I'm running straight back there. Letting the team know, as they shouldn't already, that, you know, we killed the Annie. That is essentially the the only thing on their team that is really an issue for me. I mean, the volley bear is to a certain extent because, like I have said before, he's so tanky with inherent damage. And no matter what, until I get Lord Dominic's on him, or on Lucian, the volley bear is going to be an issue for me to take down. But, other than that, it is just the Annie. I can 1v1 the Jinx, no problem. It's not a big deal at all. And Quinn is playing her role perfectly as the roaming assassin. One thing that Quinn's kit affords her is mobility and the ability to get around the map incredibly quickly. So she's just showing up, getting killed, running away, getting out. I'm roaming down here because I see that we're looking to fight around this area. Start my ult channel off right there to pull the Annie away, get some damage down onto the volley bear. Get a W, double E, or double auto, excuse me, E double auto, and then the Thresh lantern. So, yep, they were able to escape out of that. But well, we get the wave pushing in our favor, and we've pinged the bot tower in Dragon. So once again, we push the wave, just good practice, so they will respond to it, not wanting to lose the tier 2 bot, I would imagine. And we get to go Dragon for free, especially even, because the Annie was tucked out. But one thing you have to be really careful about, and this has changed even since Season 6 started, is at 20 minutes, everyone gets automatic home guards, which is pretty crazy. So that means that even if you chunk someone out and they back, they're able to return, if it's on their side of the map, they're able to return to that area pretty quickly. So you have to be very careful about overstaying and where you want to position yourself on the map. So I am relatively farmed compared to the Jinx. I definitely have more kills than she does. My CS, again, not that great this game. I'm probably about 75 below where I need to be. But I see that everything goes down onto the Karma. I have to use Flash and Heal to get away from the Annie. And nice little Flash and some return damage right there from us to take her out. I had to ult because I didn't want the Quinn to die. As you can see, it was incredibly close even with that. And the Karma says, what the fuck is she doing there? I guess I agree. It was a weird place for her to be, but also a very smart place for her to be. Because didn't expect it, as you can see. So we chunked her out bot, right? So we're assuming she's going to back and try to head down that way because Dragon's up and we're pressuring tier 2. But instead, she goes and tries to make a play on our red buff. Yeah, I don't know. I would say that is actually probably the right play by her in their position, but it just didn't work out. Knowing that Annie's dead, and that Jax is creating a lot of pressure bot, just kills Renekton with Quinn. They're pressuring tier 2 bot down there, so I'm pressuring the mid turret right here. So we get that turret there, which is really nice. Oh my gosh, my house phone. So, nice little back right there after we get pressure mid, which is really, really good. And so now I'm just going to be looking to buy my upgraded boots here. I actually went for distortion because I felt like I was going to have to be flashing away from this Annie so much. Or at least flashing for positions in fights. So much that it was worth it for me to go distortion. I do really value movement speed and CDR more than attack damage on this champion. So the other alternative that I will sometimes do with Lucian is to just go the Alacrity boots for the extra 25 movement speed. 25% movement speed? Not sure off the top of my head, but it is more movement speed, and moving fast is great because you can get around the map quicker on rotations and yeah, just overall be a badass. So we see a couple of them here trying to bait us in. I'm getting out of range. We don't see the Annie at this point, and the last time I walked over there with an Annie, I basically walked away with about 50 health. So not looking to do that. Karma speed me up here. We're just going to go ahead and push in mid. Just put in more pressure even on that part of the map and let us make some plays. Like I was saying in the last video about how wave pressure gives you free vision. It's just so valuable in times like when you're trying to figure out what to do in a game. Just push the waves in and see who responds. It's on them to make a mistake. As the Karma gets absolutely destroyed there. I'm getting pinched, so me going in to try to get some damage down, definitely not worth it in that scenario. All that I want to do is try to buy time for Jack's top lane, and Quinn, who's putting pressure on bot. So really, all I'm going to do here, take some wolves. There's no free farm or safe farm for me to get in any of the other lanes, since mid is pushed and top and bot are also pushed. So that's when you turn to jungle camps and get some PS and some gold that way. I generally speaking don't really care for when my laners take my jungle camps as jungler. However, in this situation, since it's the Jax and he's so just efficient at split pushing, we give him late game. He transitions from more of a jungle centric champion to one who just split pushes lanes. I have to be really careful on my cut here, like extremely careful, because Thresh was there and I didn't want to get hooked. So it's not until I see him commit onto someone else that I fully commit onto him and get his burst down on the cut. And now we have decent positioning on the wave. So we're just going to hang out here. We have a ZZ Rot portal that's going to be keeping constant pressure top side of the map. So that's pretty cool for us. And me and Jax are going to take that pretty quickly. You get a flash forward by the volley. I immediately have to back up to get out of range of the Annie. And I give my teammates the heal there so that they can get a little bit of health back and some movement speed to get away from all that. Then I turn around immediately and finish off the volley guard.
PS4 bundle available now.
Yeah, this is not a PlayStation 4 ad. That was an ad playing in the background of my music when I was playing the game. So you guys get to hear me pretend to be a sellout for PlayStation. Wouldn't that be nice? The Jax stays pretty long there, and like, yeah, I could have stayed with him for a couple more autos and gotten the turret kill. I don't necessarily think that that's worth it for our fed Jack, and one of our primary forms of wave clear and damage output is destroyed like that. So instead, I bring him back, hoping that Quinn can circle around. He gets really good damage onto him. So really nice rotations by the Quinn. I didn't even say earlier, but it was really good by Quinn to show up when we turned that around top lane and were able to get that tower. So looking here to pick up the IE, and I really do like this build as well when you go so Phantom Dancer and Lucidity into Rapid Fire, debating switching that out for Static, but as of now, Rapid Fire into Infinity Edge, into Lord Dominik's Regards against tank teams, because you constantly get another level of power. There's no point in that build line or that build path where your damage output is flat compared to the rest of the game. So it really just keeps you at an overall threat level for even longer paced games. So here, Quinn, again, picking up a really good kill bot lane. I take this time to go ahead and get the blue buff. Remember to clear all of them, even the small camp, for your jungler so that it will respawn at the correct time. We see them bot lane right here, get a little bit of vision of them, and we see Jack's top lane. So we do know that we don't have smite, which means that it's possible for them to steal this, but they don't. Luckily, we're able to clean that up. And we don't really see them. There we just see Annie and Volibear and Thresh all bot sides. So Jax knows this. He knows he's relatively safe to push top. That means the only people that could be coming after him would be the holy crap Annie ult. Just delete Karma. Now we know it's down. But the only ones topside, or only people that could have been topside at that point would have been the Jinx that would pose any sort of pressure to the Jax. And actually, that's worse for the Jinx. She thinks that going in there is going to get anything. So, nice little disengage there. And once again, we see 4 mid. So the last person that died, we know that Jax can put really good pressure on this top lane. He's only 2 autos away, so he's going to go ahead and pick up that inhib tower. It's difficult because, like, these sort of situations in games, you look at it and you're like, okay, well, nothing is like really happening. But we have to, like, again, like, try to be cognizant of the wave pressure that you're creating and just the pressure on different areas of the map just by being somewhere. So right here, minion wave gets pushed in, and he gets a little bit of chunk. And Jax, meanwhile, since we have 3 bot and we're pressuring another inhib for free, they have to respond to Jax top and to us. So that splits up their attention focus. It's called the objective dilemma. By certain casters, and we use a similar term in Halo where you make them you know, do we go for the flag return or the flag capture, or do we go for slays so that we don't get spawn trapped over and over again? And while it's different items for that checklist or for that comparison, it is the same concept in League. Do we go, you know, if they're thinking, do we go for the stop on the tower and potentially, and then give up top and all that pressure, or do we potentially try to fight when we're behind, or you know what, like what's the choice? And each of those has its own consequences and rewards. So instead, we're just playing the safe game, which is okay by me. Yeah, and I'm saying yeah, just Baron because we have the inhib down now. Janna's able to get away. Janna's so annoying to catch. And I'm coming mid here just because there's not really like the biggest of reasons for me to back. I'm just kind of waiting for other people to be around. So just picking up some gold here from this Raptor camp. And like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of doing this, generally speaking, but in a situation where you have a split pusher, it's okay. Also, hired gun Lucian is the skin to go. Everyone knows it. Now, the Quinn, as I pick up the Giant Slayer here, it's going to be really good against Volley. The Quinn is doing fucking work this game. And by her roaming around and just getting picked, like, this is how you want to play Quinn, because she's not really the best team fighter. She's not going to necessarily bring much in a 5v5. So what we want is like our core main 3 unit of me, Karma, and Janna to be safe in the mid lane. And we want Jax pushing top, and we want Quinn pushing bot. Which is what we've been doing, and we've been playing that really effectively. You notice how we're not trying to necessarily always 5-on-5 team fight, because if we do 5-on-5 team fight against an Annie and a Jinx and a Renekton and a Thresh, they have really good comeback potential no matter how far, you know, ahead we are. We might be ahead as far as globals go, but they still have 24 kills on their team, so definitely a lot of gold income for them that they're working with. With the Baron now pushing in the mid lane, keeping the pressure up. Now, the Quinn and the Karma aren't here, so me and Jax are pretty hesitant to go all in on that. And just get a nice little crit off on the Renekton and get some chunk. You can see that did a decent amount of damage, about 400. So, yeah. The reason I put the W over the wall, thinking that the Annie was just going to be sticking around there and waiting to ult us or stun me over the wall. Now, I've been praising the Quinn, but something that also needs to be said is that their team is doing a really poor job of warding in their jungle. A lot of the Quinn rotations have been very telegraphed and scripted if they would have had basic ward coverage for their side of the map. And the fact that Quinn is able to make these plays so aggressively, just without us even having to put pinks down and sweep, lets us know that the vision control from the red side is really, really poor right now. So Quinn is just pushing mid. We're keeping the Volibear here. He's a primary tank. If he leaves at any point, we get the tower. Quinn gets taken down by Annie, unfortunate, but we have this cannon minion here with the Baron buff that's just going to be hitting away on it, and Volibear cannot come up to challenge it, or else he gets some damage done. So I'm just going to ignore him entirely and just go for the tower. There's the flash out of Volibear. And going to get the inhib after that as well. Now we're looking to go mid inhib. Okay, so we see the Thresh. There's the double auto. And then I turn and put the ult down onto the Annie to kind of get her out of the fight and get her away from everyone. Unfortunately, I position really weird and I have to blow my flash and my heal because I'm 1v1 against this Volibear. Look how terrifying this is. So I go back into the mini wave to make sure that it's Baron minions that are hitting him. And then I E and go a little bit more forward over to where my Janna is, so she's able to shield me. I'm still running. Now is when I first start to return damage to keep him kind of interested. Another shield, double auto hits the minions instead of him. And then there's a W onto him, a Q double auto, another double auto, an E double auto, and he's finally taken down after all that. So there's absolutely no way that I would have been able to kill him by myself. But he was distracted by me. He went after me for a long time, let my teammates clean up the kill. And now this entire time we've been pushing into their base with 3 super minion waves. OP. And then Jinx steps too far forward, so picking up the 8. Finishing off at 7, 2, and 6. Quinn here just hovering around there. And just going to go ahead and finish off the next. So if you enjoyed this video, stay tuned for more. This has been your boy Flagcap. And yeah, let me know in the comments below if you guys want more League analysis. Until next time, take care.